I found out there on YouTube. I'm going to go over my recent deck list that I made, and I'm going to go over some tech choices right now. We're going to start off first with the main deck, and I'll go over some of the reasons I picked some things. Let's see here. Some people have been sending me questions concerning why I have the Maxis, and then I also run in this deck. I also run an effect veiler, and some people have been asking me why, and it's just when it comes to the first turn, you really don't know what you're going to be going up against, and let's say you're going up against Dino Rabbits. Both of these cards can be good against Dino Rabbits. If you get one of these in, then you can use this against a tour guide and pick up 2 cards. You can use this against, still the same thing, use it against a Rescue Rabbit and negate it. So that's why I use those. It can also be good if you can foresee a Grapha coming, or with E-Heroes you can chain this to Miracle. If you're going up against another 6 Samurai deck, in general using Maxi is just a really good first turn move. Now the Effect Veiler, just using one, that's good against pretty much any deck that's out there right now. You could stop a single Inzektor effect. You can stop a Shein. You can stop a Zenmains and bounce it with pretty much anything. Effect Veiler is just always going to be a useful card for these formats, and especially with these new decks coming out, this is going to be really good against Prophecy decks and other things like that, so that's why I tech those in. The other card that's been kind of getting people a little curious, especially in my locals, is that I run Book of Moon in my deck. The Indianapolis winner ran 2 compulsories in his deck, and I do not run 2 compulsories, mostly because it was starting to kind of piss me off a little bit. I was tired of compulsing Gores, and I was tired of compulsing BLS and things like that. I'd rather just put an Effect Veiler and a Book of Moon in instead. Book of Moon can be very helpful. Let's say they normal summon, let's say they normal summon Tour Guide. You can just use this and Book of Moon, another tour guide that they use, or really, there's all kinds of interesting things you could do with Book of Moon. My favorite thing with Book of Moon is that it loses a lot of targets. You can make your opponent lose a lot of targets. A lot of cards are, select one face-up monster. Well, with this, you could just Book of Moon yours or theirs, and then they lose the target of that card, and they can't use it anymore. So that's really why I like Book of Moon more than anything, is because you can lose targets. And, you can use this against other, let's say they're trying to get an Ixie monster on the field, or they're trying to synchro. You could just use this to flip it face down and Book of Moon it. So that's why I use that. As far as anything else in the deck, some people have been asking me why I use 2 Musakanis. And the reason I run 2 Musakani is because it's basically an extra Solemn Judgment more than anything. Sometimes, I'll just negate something with Shein just because I can, and then I know that they can't negate or destroy them. They'll try to use like a Dark Hole or a Soul Taker on me, and I'll just run Musakani on them, and they just get mad. So really, 2 is the perfect amount in this deck, especially since it's a counter trap. That's really it for the tech in the deck, but let's go over some, actually, let's go over the extra deck choices that I have here. Let's see here. I want to talk about Shockmaster right now for a quick second, because as great as this card is, and as awesome it is, it's got reprinted, and it's amazing against windups, and it's great against Inzektors, it's great against so many decks right now. It's probably going to get banned. So look forward to Shockmaster being banned. It's going to happen. So if you're running a 6 Samurai deck, you might want to pick up a Kusanagi while it's still pretty cheap, and it's got a lot of great potential, I think. So, but right now, since it's for this format, it's still viable. You know, I'll run that Shockmaster. Let's see what else we got here. Adreus is a really great card. Also, 6 samurais because you can use double-edged sword technique and bring back Xian and Grandmaster, and then you can blow up a card on the field and attack for 26. Plus, since it's a fiend, it gains 300 attack, and that's pretty great if you're going up against Dark Worlds. Let's see what else we got here. Gandaiva. Gandaiva is the newest card in the deck that I've added, and the reason it's so good is because it has a trigger effect that destroys special summons. So if you're going against Girgias, if you're going against Windups, if you're going against certain Dark Worlds, let's say, you can, Dino Rabbits, 6 Samurais. This card is pretty much great for anything, and you can use it during either player's turn, not just one. So I would suggest picking up one of these just because it's kind of a beastie card, honestly, especially first turn if you absolutely have to. Next is Acid Golem. A lot of people are using Loser Rhythm, as I told you in the last video, but this is great against Skill Drain, so that's why I use this one. Let's see here. As far as side deck is concerned, what are some things that I would side deck? You got a lot of big decks right now that are out are Dark World. So things that I would side against Dark World decks right now are Dimensional Fissures, and then I'd probably put an MST in there, and then I'd probably run 2 Shadow Imprisoning Mirrors. What would I take out for that? Alright, let's go over it right now. Take out that effect there. It's pretty much useless. I might even take out Musakani. While you're at it, since you're using Dimensional Fissure, take out Double-Edged Sword Technique. And this is really up to you, but you can either take out United and Asceticism, or you can take out 2 Maxis. Now, considering the circumstances that you're trying to run Dimensional Fissure, I'd probably take out the Maxis and keep in these. So that's what I would run against siding against Dark Worlds. Alright, now the next deck is E-Heroes. E-Heroes are pretty self-explanatory. It really depends on how much they're pissing you off. I've been thinking about running a Light Imprisoning Mirror in the side instead of these, but these they really help out sometimes. I like to run Puppet Plant. There's been so many times where I was only 1 attack away and they had an alias or something like that, or even the Shining one, I don't remember its name right now, but I would just gain control of it and then attack directly at them, and Puppet Plant's just really good. I mean, you can even take control of spellcasters with this, so that's really useful. And also Cyber Dragon, which can get over anything. This is pretty self-explanatory. I would take out these with E-Heroes. Only because there's not really too much you can do with Maxis. They don't really special summon enough for you to really gain any effect, and they don't really have an effect enough to really gain a plus for having only 1 effect dealer. So you might as well just run Cyber Dragon and kind of mow over it, and you can even create Andreas with Cyber Dragon too. So it's pretty cool. That's it for E-Heroes. Against Windups, let's see here. Windups, I would run Rivalry, and I would run Dimensional Fissure. Let's see here. There's all kinds of interesting things that we can do with this. Since you're running Dimensional Fissure, Maxis probably aren't as useful. So we'll take out 1 Maxi. And I'd probably take out Dimensional Fissure. And with Rivalry, this is kind of a tough call, honestly, but I'm going to have to take out an effect failure. I'm going to keep one maxi just in case. And you know what I'm going to take out? I'm going to take out a 6 Samurai United. Yeah, that's probably what I'd end up doing. It really depends on what kind of decks you're going against. But, you know, it'd be good to run one maxi on the off chance that you got second or something like that, and then that way if they started to explode, you can just discard this and kind of get the hand that you need. So, that's what I got for that. Let's see here, Dino Rabbits. I actually have quite a few things that I can do against Dino Rabbits. Rivalry is pretty decent against them. Fossil Dinos seem to work pretty well. Snowman Eater works really well, and you know, also another effect failure is pretty good. What I'd take out for that, I'd probably take out the Maxi again. Take out another Maxi. Take out Asceticism and United. And really at this point it's kind of up to you what you really want to do. If I was going to go against, then I'd probably do this more than anything. That's probably what I'd run. Because everything else in the deck I really need. I really need Musakani, I need Book of Moon, I need everything else. So really this is going to help you out a lot since you're going to be stopping tour guides and you're going to be stopping rescue rabbits with this, and you're going to be stopping Logias and Volcas with this, and this is going to stop them. So that's what I do that. Next deck, Chaos Dragons. I would probably do something around the lines of, let's see, dual Shadow Imprisoning Mirrors, and I'd probably use Fossil Dinos as well, since more than likely they're all going to be special summoned. I'm going to try to wrap this video up a little faster and not say what I take out, but I think you kind of get the gist. Fossil Dino would be good against these since they can't special summon. This is good against Darkness Metal. Let's say Darkness Metal's on the field and you just have this set and they attack it. You just blew up all their shit. Yeah, it's a pretty good card. Injectors. That's where that Shadow Imprisoning Mirror comes in handy again. As well as another effect failure. You need effect failure against Injectors to just stop them getting hand control more than anything. Against Geargia and Machina, you run a Cyber Dragon, definitely. And you also run System Down. And if they're really scaring you with a lot of Machina stuff, you might even consider running 2 Fissures and MST or something like that for background. I want to talk about the last 2 decks here. Mermails. Mermails are going to get really big, and I think these are really the only cards that are really going to help you out. Dimensional Fissure and another Mystical Space Typhoon. And last but not least, once again, Agents. You're going to need Dimensional Fissures and another Mystical Space Typhoon. And if you're really scared of them, I might even consider running a Fossil Dino or something like that, just to kind of keep them lowballed.